Episode 42, Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature. Life isn't always easy. We all face problems, frustrations, pain, and loss. How we deal with these hard times, especially when we're young, shapes how we see life as we grow up. Many people try to avoid anything difficult. They go through life trying to stay away from problems, even if it means they never really push themselves or get very far in their jobs. Instead of learning from bad experiences, they want to forget them. But there's a better way. Instead of running from problems, we can choose to face them head on. We can see every obstacle as a chance to learn and get stronger. This way, we're not just dealing with problems, we're embracing life itself. Let's look at two real-life stories that show how this works. First, there's Joan Crawford. Back in 1928, she was doing okay as an actress in Hollywood, but she wasn't getting the roles she wanted. She saw other actresses, who weren't as talented, getting ahead of her. Joan thought maybe she needed to speak up more. So she decided to tell one of the big bosses at her movie studio what she thought. This didn't go well. The boss, Irving Thalberg, didn't like Joan speaking up. He thought she was being rude. To teach her a lesson, he gave her a part in a Western movie. This was bad news for Joan. She didn't like Westerns, and many actresses' careers ended when they got stuck in these kinds of movies. But Joan didn't give up. Instead of complaining, she decided to make the best of it. She taught herself to love Westerns. She learned how to ride horses really well. She read all about the Old West and got really interested in its stories. She decided that if this was what she had to do to get ahead, she'd become the best Western actress out there. At the very least, she figured, this would make her a better actress overall. This became how Joan dealt with all her problems in Hollywood. Every time something went wrong, she saw it as a chance to grow and get better. This attitude helped her have a long career in a place where most actresses didn't last very long. Now, let's look at Malcolm X's story. In 1946, when he was 20 years old, Malcolm, whose last name was Little back then, went to prison for stealing. He had to serve 8 to 10 years. Usually, prison makes criminals tougher and less open to change. But Malcolm was different. Instead of getting angry or giving up, Malcolm decided to use his time in prison to change his life. He started spending a lot of time in the prison library and fell in love with books and learning. He saw prison as a perfect chance to make himself better. He had all this time, so he could study and even get a degree. He could learn to be more disciplined, which was something he'd always struggled with. He could practice becoming a great speaker. Malcolm didn't let himself feel bitter about being in prison. Instead, he used the experience to make himself stronger. When he got out, he saw every problem, big or small, as a way to test himself and get even tougher. These stories teach us something important. While we can't control the bad things that happen to us, we can control how we respond to them, and how we respond shapes what happens to us next. So, how can we use this idea in our own lives? Here are some tips. 1. When something bad happens, take a deep breath. Don't just react right away. 2. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? There's usually a lesson in every tough situation. 3. Think about how this problem might make you stronger. Maybe it's teaching you patience, or how to solve problems, or how to keep going when things are hard. 4. Remember that everyone faces problems. You're not alone, and having troubles doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. 5. Look for the positives, even in bad situations. There's usually something good, even if it's small. 6. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Facing problems doesn't mean you have to do it all alone. 7. Celebrate when you overcome something difficult. It's important to recognize your own strength. By changing how we look at tough times, we can turn problems into chances to grow. This doesn't mean we should go looking for trouble. But when hard times come, and they will, we can choose to see them as opportunities rather than disasters. This way of thinking helps us in many ways. We become stronger mentally. We get better at solving problems. We learn to adapt to different situations. We gain valuable life experiences and wisdom. We might even discover strengths we didn't know we had. And each time we overcome something difficult, we become more confident. In the end, how we deal with life's challenges plays a big part in shaping who we become. By choosing to face our problems and learn from them, we can lead fuller, richer lives. We become people who are ready for whatever life throws at us, and that's a powerful way to live. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If something resonated with you, share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be valuable to others. Now, a quick reminder. Make it a habit to learn something beneficial every day. The content you consume is like food for your brain, so be intentional about it. Otherwise, the algorithm might start influencing your thoughts. Reflect on that. We're always accepting your contributions through subscriptions to our channel. Your support will help us with upcoming projects and ensure we continue delivering top-notch content. Join us by subscribing today.